Hello, let's make a view template. So a view template's like a filter and it will hide items or show items that we tell it to. So it's really important here. So you can see I have my annotated floor plan. It depends on where you work or what kind of studies you're doing, but an annotated floor plan for this purpose includes a bunch of items related to the interior of the building. And you can see I have all of my exterior parking, some planters, some sidewalks, all of that, some like parking bollards, the little stick guys. So I need to hide those. And I also have some bike racks. So the first thing I want to do is double click into my view. Okay. And I want to click on one item and I want to go to what's called the category. So underneath properties, you can see here the category says parking. So write that down on a piece of paper. That's our first category we need to know that we need to hide. So that's called parking. Okay, how about this little wheelchair symbol? That's called site. So I know I need to hide site and parking. We'll start with those two, and we'll continue if there's more left. So what I need to do is I need to go down to my view template right here. And if yours says none, just go ahead and click there. And what I'll do, you can see here I have one that says architectural plan. This is the one I'll be using. If you don't have one, go ahead and select one. And then what I'll want to do is I want to go up here and just double check I have the correct scale. It'll depend on your kind of drawing. Detail level, I like to set to fine. That makes sure that walls are showing up nice and crisp with detail. And then everything else is really, I hate to say this, but fluff. This is super overwhelming, but we're going to take the basics, and this is what you'll need as an architect 99% of the time. VG, which means visibility graphics. Override, why they don't tell us that, the world will never know. But I go ahead and I click here and click edit, and we know that we need to hide site. So if I go up here and type in site, I can hide that. Okay. And then I also know I need to hide parking. So I will hide parking right there. And then let's hit OK. OK. All right. So that hid most of everything, except you can see here I have a trellis, which is a little outdoor patio space. But I don't want to do that via view template because generic model is super common. And this baby changing station, I was going to guess it was generic model, but it's specialty equipment. I just don't feel comfortable hiding generic model because that's such a common model in here. So I'm just going to right click on this. So go ahead and right click. Okay, and then once you, that double clicked in there. I'm using my trackpad and it's a little bit tricky. So I just right click on that, hide in view elements. Beautiful. And there's a few other things. So you'll notice if I double click back in my view, I made these sidewalks with model lines. And if I look at the family category, it's called lines, parentheses, thin lines. So let's go ahead and hide that. Let's go back to our view template here. And then again, VG override model. This is where we always start. Okay. And then here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in lines. Okay. All right. That didn't quite work. Let's just try it again. Lines. Okay. So this can get a little bit messy with the lines portion. So you just locate lines down here. And then I believe it could have been, thin lines. Just give me 1 second. I'll double check. Okay, so it was thin line. So I uncheck that and I hit apply. Okay. You don't have to hit apply. I do apply. Okay. And now they're all hidden. Okay. And then you can see here, I have an unmarked elevation marker. This means that it's not on a sheet. That's why it's not full. And let me show you how you would do something like that. So we would come back here to our architectural plan. Okay. Okay. And then we would come here to annotation. And then I would go down to annotation categories and I would find elevation. But one thing I want to show you here is that this is actually going to hide all of the annotations. All right, so I'm showing you a common mistake. This hides all of my elevation markers that I had on the exterior of the building. So let's Control Z that, and I'll show you how to actually just hide this individual one. There's a method called filters, but I do not recommend using filters in Revit right here as they can be incredibly complex, and it's a little bit easier to show you this method. So this isn't super important, but we're here, so I'm going to show you. So when I go to export, Control P, what I'll do is underneath setup, I just want to check that I have hide unreferenced view tags. Okay, so that's what you'll do. And that's the basics for the view template here. And this applies to elevations, architectural site plans, enlarged plans, interior elevations. The world is your oyster here. Start organizing and being neat with how you use these. And I recommend using these on every drawing type. Thanks.